Hello, welcome to the Beyond the Questions podcast, because every great conversation starts with a question. We're having real conversations about life with life coaches, and we are anticipating another great episode. So get ready and let's get started.
Well, welcome back to Beyond the Questions, a podcast where real coaches come together for honest, unscripted conversations about life, purpose, growth, and the messy courage it takes to be human. And when we say unscripted, there might be nothing more unscripted than what we're about to walk into today. If you've been watching us on YouTube or wherever you've been following along, you know we're a new podcast. We're four coaches who just want to walk alongside folks and let them know they're not alone in life as they go through this. And so today we're going to take a different format. We're not going to have any heavy topics, or at least it's not planned that way. We'll see how it goes. Erica's probably still going to use big words, but that's all right. And we're going to introduce ourselves to you and let you get to know who we are, where we're from, all that kind of stuff. And to do that, I have to give credit. This idea is not original to me. I am a huge fan of Rachel Martin's podcast, Wildcard. And if you've ever tuned into it, she literally asked her guests to pick a card, and then there's a random question on the back. And there's 3 different categories. And so we're stealing that today. No preparation. I am the only one who knows what questions are on the back of these cards.
Lucky
These
you.
other 3 coaches have
Yeah.
trusted me a lot here. And so there's no perfect stories, just real people sharing the moments that shaped who we are, how they found their way to coaching, and what they're exploring next. So our 3 categories are beginnings, the journey, and curiosity. So that's kind of where we're at. So you guys ready?
Let's go.
Ready. Let's buckle up.
All right, Erica, we'll let you pick
Nerves.
first. Do you want card 1, card 2, or card 3?
Let's go with 3.
B. All right. What's a message, spoken or unspoken, you absorbed early in life that you're still unlearning or reframing today? So much for not deep questions.
Wow.
Goodness gracious.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, well, here we go. Hi, everyone. I'm Erica. And so this question is how I've become a life coach.
There you go.
No, but not really. Yeah, so it is a little bit, actually. I do help people through kind of like the pains and traumas in life. And when you're doing that, eventually you kind of get to the work of kind of like childhood. And the first thing that popped into my mind as you were reading the question, while I was simultaneously laughing into not getting deep, was I can't do it and I'm not good enough. It does take growth and learning and then recognition, right? That these are these false things I'm telling myself. Sometimes we don't even recognize it, whereas I was telling myself that, and then sometimes like going to the point of like working so hard to not do that, right? Like, well, I can't do this, so I have to do this, or things like that. I actually didn't even know that I was telling myself that until I was an adult. Like, I didn't.
Right.
That's definitely, childhood type of thing that then we hopefully learn when we get older. And it will still come into my mind, like, I can't do that. I'm like, wait. And of course, that took a lot of work and practice, and sometimes I'm better at it than I'm not.
Right.
Yet, I can do it. Whichever it is. I'm not that child who just thinks, I can't do it. I can.
That's awesome, Erica. What about you,
And of
TQ?
course-
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, there's always more to the story yet.
Okay.
We're just not going to go so deep. Let's keep it light, Jason.
Yeah, keep it
All
light.
right.
The other 2 questions were light.
Can you
I'm just
repeat the
saying.
question?
Okay. Yeah. Repeat the question.
I
Seriously.
can't
Repeat the
repeat the
question.
question. What's a message, spoken or unspoken, you absorbed early in life that you're still unlearning or reframing today?
I think it might be, it's your responsibility. And so at least that's what's popping up now, since I haven't had time to think about this. But just growing up as a African American, I was taught, and I don't know if kids these days are taught this or not, but I was taught, man, if you're going to get ahead in this world because of your skin tone, you have to do things far ahead better than anyone who looks different than you, because they got to look past my skin tone, which means, man, I got to be responsible for everything. I've got to make sure that everything is lined up and exactly right, because if it's not, I ruin my chances at life. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for a while that works. People will know if you've got talent and you've got skill, people will notice, man, he's putting in the effort, etc. And it can help you get along. The problem is it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Right? It's just so tiring, and you can't do everything that great. You know, you do the best you can, but you're going to fall, you're going to fail. And so if my whole future relies on whether I can be the best I can be and better than everyone else around me, then, man, that's just a lot of work. And so, and it's my responsibility to make it happen. It's my responsibility. So you multiply that with job and ministry, family. It's all my responsibility. And that's a big load to carry. So going, no, that's not my responsibility. Taking the things I need to take, because there are some things that are, and giving my all is a great thing if I give it out of knowing who I am, as opposed to having to prove myself.
Yeah.
And so just going, this is who I am, I'm coming with it. And if it goes however it goes, that's the way to go. And I'll be okay with that. So
That's awesome. Thanks,
Yeah.
TQ.
Yeah.
sure thing.
Kelly?
No. Wow. Okay. That's a hard question. I think, well, the unspoken maybe was I am much younger than my siblings. So the unspoken, thing here is that clearly I think I was the accident of the family, and it became spoken after a while. So it became the family joke. So I think because of that, I've always felt like, well, I'll show you. I was the accident. I'm going to be the overachiever now. So throughout my life, I always tried to do everything, the best I could, trying to do, the big, I don't know, big school, big career, big whatever. And so I think I've been slowly letting that go, but I think that was probably the unspoken thing in my world that, yeah, I was the accident of the family, which has become quite funny.
That's awesome.
I find it funny
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
That's
I
good.
love it.
Yes.
That's a good
because I
thing.
could go a whole different way here.
That's right.
Yeah, but-
And this
Yeah.
would become a
You
therapy
could.
session.
Right. We're not therapists. We're
Yeah,
coaches,
that's right.
right?
That's
So
right.
there you go.
No.
So I was always the short, fat kid. So my joke is I have the body image of a middle school girl. I never look in the mirror and feel good about myself. And so there's been this lifelong journey of gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight. And so I don't think it was a message other than just I grew up knowing I was the fat kid. We had to go to the Husky section to buy jeans and all of those things. And I was an athlete. And so that brought with it its own limitations. And so I think for most of my life, it's been about, we're going to overcome the limitations. There aren't going to be limitations. And so like all of our good qualities, pushed too far, it can become a negative quality. And
Right.
so yeah, so that's mine. That's mine. I was the little fat chubby kid. So
You were the little fat chubby kid, and I was the accident. I don't know what that says about you and me.
now we know why
And
we
I'm
can't
not
use big
picking
words.
The first question next time.
I
That's
know,
right.
right?
All right, TQ, you're up. Still in beginnings. 1, 2, or 3.
2, right in the middle.
2 right in the middle. This might be I think it's a little easier. When you think about where you come from, what part of that story feels most connected to your work now?
When I think about where I come from, what part fits
Of that
most with-
story feels most connected.
Man, I was brought up in church since about 6 years old or so. Somebody tapped my dad on the shoulder at work and said, hey, can we talk to you about Jesus? So we went to their house. They had kids. Praise the Lord, because I played with them, because what they were talking about felt really boring. And so they're doing this evangelism thing. I'm playing with them. But then I see my parents give their lives to Christ. For some kids who are raised in that, they don't ever see that. They just always know. And so see my parents become Christians, and we go to church, and the church family that we were with just was a vibrant group of people, at least so I thought as a young child. From what I could tell, they loved doing things together. We were at people's houses on the weekends, hanging out. My best friends were there. right? And so I think in the midst of all of that, this love for people, for ministry, when I say ministry, don't see me in a cloak and a collar, but think ministry as in, man, he really wants to help and serve. Okay. And so, it's just been part of that my whole life. It feels like, I mean, first 6 years, not, but from then on, that's what I've been doing. And so that leading me to actually was a minister on staff at a few churches, and then leading to coaching, leads me to go, man, I want to help people. I don't mind sitting with them, walking with them, being with them. And if you're with anybody for any length of time, people go through ups and downs. And so I've just been through folks and seen things happen. And, I think it all began way back when, at a little church in DC, where my dad was stationed in the military that year. Yeah.
That's a great story. It's a great
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
You keep giving us all these great mental images. So last 2 podcasts ago, you talked about toddler TQ running around, and I was like, we need a picture. And you gave us one. Amazing.
Loved it.
And so now I'm going to buy you a cloak and collar and let you, and that'll be your wardrobe for the next one. It's going to be fantastic. Turn
There
in to
you
the
go.
next episode to see TQ in there. So
That's probably
Erica,
not
what about
happening.
you?
Well, I was trying to think of multiple different things, and I don't want to be following TQ. While the first thing that came into my mind as far as what's closest now and what I'm doing is my faith. That definitely, I did grow up in a faith-filled family and community, and I'm very, very grateful for that foundation. It was funny. There was this girl that wanted to help, while also the fun part about it is she's a little bossy. And I see that in so many things of how I am organized today, even with 2 boys, but I feel like it's like, oh, does God laugh? Yeah, here, have 2 boys because it'll take away your type A personality real quick because ain't nobody got time for that. So, I'm very grateful for my faith. It has brought me through many, many things. And also, yeah, just see this like bossy little girl that wants to help. That's just not sure. Like, why when I boss my friends around, they call me bossy?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Kelly?
So, there's 6 kids in my family. There are 5 girls, the poor boy. So
Where's he in the birth order?
he's second oldest.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Second
All right.
oldest. Yep. And so, very close knit family, but I've been surrounded by girls, he was off in college and all that by the time I came around. So I guess, and that's what I do now with my coaching is I coach women because that's what I know. And my dad was a doctor. He was a family doctor. And so it was back in the day when like literally he'd come to your house if you needed him. Like this is when like healthcare was easy. He would come to your house if you needed him with this little black bag. And so, always serving other people. My household we were brought up Catholic. I think it was my great uncle was the archbishop of our area and started a college in our towns, grew up with that as well. So I think it was just that whole family dynamic, always, helping other people. And just the fact that I've been surrounded by all these girls my whole life has kind of put me on the path where now I'm trying to help women through their transitions and finding purpose. And so I think that all of that combined kind of got me to where I am now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man,
That's cool.
started college. Dad's a doctor. That's quite the background. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think mine is there were always older people around who were supporting me. There were always, I talked about Rick in the last podcast. There were 6 or 7 that I could name. And I think just about journeying with them through life. And that's what I get to do as a coach. I get to walk alongside of people. I get to help them kind of achieve their goals, see what they want to do. And so I think that's something that started early on for me. I didn't even recognize it. And now I get to give a little bit of that back. So I want to pause real quick before we go into the second section of the game. I want to give everybody a chance to tell our audience, let's do 3 things. Tell us a little bit about your business. Tell us where you're located in the country, because I don't think anybody knows where we're located.
Right.
And give us a quick 30-minute snapshot or 30-second snapshot of your family. So, Kelly, why don't you go first on this one?
Okay. So I am, well, founder and chief pivot officer, what I call myself, of my company called Purposeful Pivot. And I help women, middle-aged women, transition to their what's next. You know, sometimes you've been doing the same thing for years and years, and you just want to do something more purposeful. And so I try to help you find what that purpose is. So that's my business. I am located in Charlotte, North Carolina. And what was the third one?
And then
Oh, my family.
Your family.
So yeah, right now it's just my husband, myself, and our rescue pup. And you already know about my whole other extended family. But yeah, right. In my household, it's my husband and my pup. And
Okay.
been married 33 years now.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Very cool.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I can
Erica
go.
does.
So, well, as far as where I'm from California. While I do frequent Florida quite often. So not, living there yet, but maybe one day. And let's see, my life is changing always, right? So currently, and this is new for me and some of the listeners know, so soon to be recently divorced. So now I am a single mom with 2 boys, 6 and 8. And we have 1 dog. And then are you guys ready for this? This is what it's like to be a boy mom who one child loves reptiles and fish and all of the things. We have a tarantula.
No.
Yes.
You okay,
Yeah,
Kelly?
His name is Pete, and he has 7 legs, because
Oh,
he
my
lost
gosh.
one.
There you go.
And,
gosh.
I'm a middle child. And of course, I'm pretty sure that one of my sisters is getting a larger type of reptile for my child for, Christmas. And I'm like, seriously, I just downsized from so many animals. Really? That's what you're going to do to me right now. And it
Can't
will
you
be.
veto that?
Good question.
I mean, okay,
gosh.
TQ. Well, maybe I'll throw this question at you. How do you veto it when it comes in as a present on
You veto
Christmas
it before it comes in
morning?
as a present.
Yeah.
That's how you veto it.
I've tried.
Don't you dare buy my kid that, or I'll bring revenge to your household.
I've tried.
Or
I've tried.
there's always the front door opening by mistake and whoops. just saying.
That would be wonderful. But I have learned to pick up, rattlesnakes. And the first time my
Wow.
child, we had to have a talking to about why we weren't keeping it as a pet.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've got these wild pets, and then motorcycle kid who's not afraid of anything at 6. I'm like, yay, but I love it.
Well, he's not afraid of anything because you're picking up rattlesnakes.
Amen. That's why it's happening. What's happening? So, Erica, give us a real quick snapshot of your business. I don't want you to miss that. And it's not snake handling. That's not your business.
It's not snake handling.
Okay.
no.
All right. I just wanted to make sure.
So yes, a little bit of my background actually. So I was a nurse for over 10 years and helping people and actually families in that. And now through a lot of life, and I'm very grateful to be helping. It's mostly women, and there are a few men go through the traumas of life where they are in those hard moments, and helping them, being alongside and walking through those stages with them.
That's awesome. Thank you. TQ, if you don't mind, I'm going to go next because I'm going to tie my story into Erica's just
Sounds
a little
good.
bit. So I'm Jason Roden, the founder of Jason Roden Coaching. I am an emotional intelligence coach, along with somebody who wants to help you understand your values and how those are driving your behaviors, whether that's as an individual or whether that's in your business as you build a culture and build a place for people to work. So I grew up in West Virginia. I currently live in Central Illinois. I also have 2 boys, Erica, so 17 and 14. And my 17-year-old is trying to figure out what he's going to do, right? Which I'm like, don't worry, I'm 40, however old I am, and I still don't know what I'm going to do, so it's okay. But he got to go to a zoo yesterday. He's thinking about being a zoologist, and he got to
Okay.
pet a rhinoceros.
Oh,
And I was like, oh my gosh. Now, luckily, he's never brought the
So
snakes and
cool.
frogs into the house. My wife would probably kill him and them. But yeah, so that's a little bit about us. I've been married 25 years. I got married in 2000, so I always know if August has passed, it's just the year we're in. So, I try to keep things simple. So that's a little bit about me.
There you go. Awesome.
That's awesome.
I'm TQ. Birth name is Twan, in case anybody's wondering or you see it written somewhere. It is not Tequin or Tequane or Taekwondo, though I answer to all of those because when you have a silent Q in your name, that's just what you do. I run TQ Coaching Solutions, and what we do there is really try to help people who are feeling stuck, especially if you're an entrepreneur, creator, innovator, where you're like, man, I just keep bumping into this point where what I'm trying to see happen is not happening. Well, what we try to do is take you from stuck to unstoppable. That's our catchphrase, and I believe it with everything I've got. And so love to walk with you through that kind of thing. I am in Texas. I'm in the DFW area. That is Dallas, Fort Worth, in case for those of you who don't speak acrostic like we do down here. I've got 3 kids, and I would even say a bonus daughter that she's kind of part of our family. It's been part of our family for a couple of years. All my kids are older, adult-ish is what I would say. Many of them are adult in age, except for my son. He's still in high school, but they're not adult on their own except for one. So, I'm an only. So all of you people with siblings and so forth, I'm an only child. And did I answer everything? Am I missing anything?
Yeah, I think that's great. How long have you been married? Oh, you told us in the last episode you've been married 30
I've been married for 30 years. Yeah, 30
that's
years.
awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. I just wanted to give you a chance to talk a little bit about your business. So, Kelly, we're into section 2, the journey. And so this is about how we got into coaching.
Okay.
Kelly, questions 1, 2, or 3?
Let's go number 1.
Number 1. All right. We've got a different question every time. Here we go. What was the moment you realized coaching might be more than just an interest, that it could actually be your calling?
Well, that's one I talk about all the time. That's when I couldn't get another job for like over a year and realized I didn't want to do what I used to do and started playing around with ideas. I had this, I think I told you this idea. I wanted to be a TV host and I had a whole show planned. And I had a production company come and shoot me. Like, it was a whole thing.
Wow.
And clearly it didn't take off, or I'd be like on TV and a celebrity by now. But so it didn't work. But the show was supposed to be all about activating your vacation days from work and being, coming back feeling better than when you left. And so I kind of flipped that idea and thought, well, take the TV out of it. I wanted to help women. I wanted to, have an impact on their lives. I wanted to travel. So then it became, I'm going to become a retreat host and do retreats. And then the marketer in me had to do market research. And so I had focus groups. And I remember one woman saying, yeah, but you leave a retreat and you forget everything you learned and you go back to life. And I thought, I can coach them then and keep the momentum going. And then I flip-flopped that idea and said, let me coach first and figure out what's important. And then I can host a retreat. And so then it became like this whole idea became like a vocation and a passion for me that I'm like, I can really do this. So yeah,
That's awesome.
that's my story. I'll fill you in on the whole TV thing later. It's a long one, but yeah.
Yeah, I never heard the TV thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else had.
Yeah.
TQ
I know.
Roulette.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this podcast might become a TV show if we get really
Hey.
successful
There you
one
go.
day. Okay, hey,
There you go. We'll take it on the road and then it becomes my travel show. So
It's going to have to
There
be
you
going on the
go,
road because
yeah.
you're in North Carolina and Erica's
Yeah.
in California.
That's
TQ's
right.
in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
all right, who's next?
I'll go. Erica, you had your mouth open like you were ready to say it.
I was going to
You
go.
go.
But you
No,
said
I don't
it
want to stop
first.
that.
Okay.
Not at all. Because I kind of pitched it to you last time. I was like, I'll just go ahead and take it. But man, your mouth was open. The words were going to come out. So you go now.
Dang.
Well, I will say for me is I did a lot of betrayal trauma coaching where I was the coachee, and it really, really helped me so much so. I did it by myself. I did groups. I did a lot of that. And there was this just change in me drastically. And through that, I felt like it was just kind of like these guiding things. I didn't feel like at place anymore in what I was doing. And of course, yes, there's more and longer to the story. Yet when I went to I was looking at schools to get my certification to become a coach. And it was like, do I do this or do I not? And I just remember it was so overpowering to sign up and pay the money to go to this school. And I was like, oh my goodness, okay, like this is obviously something I cannot not do. Sorry for the double negative. And as I have to do it. And I'm going to say it too, because I know that this actually will help probably somebody out there. At the time in my life when I signed up for school, because where I was at in a divorce, I had to ask my ex if I could spend the money to go to school, because that was a large financial decision that you can't do that without permission of another person. And let me tell you, that was extremely hard. And I didn't know. He could say no. And I'm like, how do I even ask this? And thank goodness he said yes, because here we are today, which is I met all of you in school. And I'm just like, thank you, God, for pushing me. And it was just so overpowering. Like, no, you've got to do this. Like, this is what you're going to do. And you got to keep doing it. And when I say like my schedule, I would be up at, because you guys all have other times for school. My class started at 6 a.m. 3 days a week that I did then before being mom and before homeschooling and doing all of the things.
TQ, good luck following that up. You should have gone first.
Thanks for getting up at 6.
Yeah, that's right.
We wouldn't have met you if you hadn't. So appreciate that.
Nope.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that story, how you got started. For me, I had been working in churches in some form or fashion for 30 years. Started out as a student minister way back in 95. Was at a church in Houston, did that for 11 and a half years or so. Then the next phase was music, and I was kind of doing this Christian music, playing wherever they let me play. So a lot of my student ministry connections, I did retreats and so forth, and also worked at a lot of churches who were just kind of starting up. So I've led worship in a ton of school cafeterias to a handful of people. Then moved to the DFW area, North Richland Hills, Texas, just north of Fort Worth. Got connected with the church there and did worship, and then went back kind of into the student ministry piece of it, but working with families. Throughout all of that time, one of the things that became pretty obvious was I just loved being with people. So whether that was during the student ministry or the music, walking along with people, hearing them out, talking with them through things that they're going through, all sorts of things, because in ministry, that's what you end up with. And that was just kind of my favorite thing. It was... So kind of contrast, like when I was working in Houston, I had a coworker, his name's Brian. Shout out Brian Mashburn, if you're listening. And we worked together, like I said, for about 9 of those years. And the way he functioned, he'd be in his office and he would have like a party of students, like just kind of crammed in there, and he's life of the party, and they're just talking, laughing, and all this stuff going on in his office. My office is right next to his. And I'd have one student, and we'd be in there for an hour, or I have a mom or something like that. And then we would go for a while because whatever they were dealing with kind of went for a bit. So when ministry needed to come to an end here in the DFW area, I was like, man, we need to stay where we are. We're very connected with our church, especially my son. He was just getting into high school at that point, and really he's got some like really, really good friends. None of them are listening right now because I'm an old dude and why would they listen to me? But if any of them ever jumps on, you need to know y'all are amazing, and thanks for being friends with my son. And my son is mortified that I said that. But the thing that I wanted to do, I was like, man, I need something that I can go ahead and walk with people that's not in a church setting. And coaching was what eventually popped up. There's a longer story to that, but it's what popped up. It's what made sense. When we were going through our coursework, I was like, okay, yeah, I recognize a lot of this stuff because I felt like the last 30 years had been kind of training ground for it. So that's how I kind of got into coaching.
Yeah.
So I like TQ. My background is in ministry. I was a senior pastor. We were on a mission trip, exploratory trip, if we're going to partner with this organization in the Dominican Republic. And there was another church, sent 2 leaders from their church. They were asking all the same questions. So there's 4 of us. spend a week together. We're like, you know, if you've ever been on a mission trip, there's always the fun day, right? So you got to go have the fun day. So we're like in this beautiful ocean surrounded by mountains. I'm like, how did I get here? And this young lady says, have you ever thought about being a life coach? And I was like, I don't know if you know, but I'm Gen X, and we don't do those things. Like, I don't even really know what a life coach is. And no, I'm not gonna. Nobody's gonna hire me to be a coach. I'm not gonna be a coach. No, I don't even know what that means. She's like, would you be mine? I was like, see question A. I don't know what it is, so no, I won't be it. and she was like, I think you could be really good at it. And so I said, okay, here's my contact information. When you get back to San Diego, if you want to talk, give me a call. Sure enough, I got an email. She's like, hey, can we meet? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And so we started talking. What I know now, it was more mentoring / consulting than actually coaching. But that meeting became my favorite meeting every month. And so when I transitioned out of ministry in August 2024, the natural transition back in seemed to be to transition into coaching. And so I got my, went to school, got all my certifications, did all my stuff. Man, getting to sit with people and like walk with them in life is probably the coolest thing I ever get to do. So that's how I got there. I definitely didn't want to be. I didn't even know what one was as of November 2023. And here I am in 2025. Yeah, it's great. So much fun. So God has a sense of humor. We're going to skip to section 3. And section 3 is, what are you curious about? No, Erica, you started us off, so you get to pick 1, 2, or 3. Which one?
We'll go with 1.
1. All right. What's a curiosity you have about human behavior or growth that keeps pulling you deeper into this work?
Yeah, I'm maybe bad at picking the questions without going deep.
I set it up for all your big words. I just decided I'm going to give you all the deep
yes,
questions.
You did. I think as starting out, right, I'm a new coach, and there is still so much to learn. While I can coach and walk alongside of people, yet I'm still, I think I mentioned this to you, TQ and Jason, and I was like, I never thought that I would want to go to school again. And I'm like, well, maybe I will. And I don't know exactly what that is. There's a lot of just, it's, you know, and he's laughing about my big words, but I have always loved the brain. And even, you know, neurobiology, and it all does relate. And just as I continue to go on, and this is part of who I am too, right? I do want to continue to educate myself. I don't like think at all just because like, oh, yay, you know, I got these certifications, which I am also grateful and glad that I did that. I do need the education where I do want to keep going. I want to keep studying. I want to be able to help people at a deeper level and understand. So I think that's that curiosity piece, right? And if I can look back, I've always, like, the brain has been just very interesting to me. Did I not answer your question, Jason?
No, you totally did. That's great.
You did.
I love
That
it.
was awesome.
Love it. Yeah. Who's next? TQ, go ahead.
Well-
We're in a rhythm where you follow Erica.
Did
So
you see
just-
that? Kelly was about to go.
Yeah, Kelly did it.
I think it's just when I'm about to say something, everybody's got to be like, I'm going to stop out.
Well, I'm going to call you out. I'm hosting today, so you go, TQ.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right. Jason's the boss. All right. So
No, Erica's bossy.
that's true. Man, what I am really curious. I would say like right now, this is kind of what I'm digging. And talk to me a couple weeks from now, it may be slightly different. But right now, I'm really diving into what systems can be put in place to help people. And just saying, and when I say systems, I mean, are there some practical daily routines? Are there some books to read? Are there some, you know, just what kind of things that people can do that really help? I've been a heart guy for a long time. Talk about your feelings, dig into those. Where is it coming from? The why, the conceptual piece, right? And I'm finding that man, that's all great, but I'm going to talk personally. If I don't have something that's helping me click off stuff daily, building these habits that help me to be the kind of person that has all that grand ideas and things that I want to do, then it just doesn't happen. And so I'm really diving into what are the things that we can put in place that help people kind of like handlebars on a bike, hold on to this thing so they can keep going. And so anyway, that's one of the things that I'm really curious about right now.
That's awesome, TQ. Kelly?
Well, I was going to flip this one to you, Jason, and see we hear from you first.
Oh, all right. All right. Well, I got into coaching. One of the things I loved about coaching as I was going through the training is I hate being told what to do. And so like the idea of like consulting, it's not for me. I'm not going to walk in and tell you what to do because you tell me what to do, I'm going to do the exact opposite. I'm a little rebellious. So I love and I'm curious about crafting questions that ultimately change behavior for people or let them see that that behavior or that pattern can change.
Right.
And so I think that's the thing where I'm really trying to grow in is how do I ask those questions that help people change their behavior on their own and realize the incredible potential that they have to do the things they want to do. And so I think that's where I'm digging in with a lot of curiosity right now is how to use the power of those questions. So now it's back to you.
Okay. Flipping it back to me. Okay. Let's see. Well, I'm curious about, I think there's like a movement taking place right now with middle-aged women that they are leaving corporate jobs in droves. I think it's something like over almost like 60% of new businesses being started are being started by women. And I just feel like women are finding their place and their voices at this point in life. And it just fascinates me. I mean, it took a while for us to start doing all this. But I feel it happening and there's something taking place. And so I'm curious to kind of make sure I'm walking beside it and I'm helping women get through it. And I just love to hear women's stories about how they're finding purpose, this stage of life. It's like their third act, right? And so that's what makes me curious. What's driving these women to do it?
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, this has been so much fun. I have a feeling we could probably sit here and keep talking for a while. I don't know if anybody keep listening, but I think we could keep talking for a while. But I want to thank you guys for sharing your stories. Thanks again to Rachel Martin for this idea of Wildcard and the questions. Thanks for playing along in my game. I appreciate that. But if you're listening and something resonated with you, made you think, or opened up a little curiosity of your own, we'd love to hear from you. Your reflections, your thoughts are going to help shape this podcast and what comes next. We're excited about what's ahead, the conversations, the questions, the always unexpected moments, and the ways we're all going to keep learning together. So thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you soon on the next episode of Beyond the Questions. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye,
Take
everybody.
care.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beyond the Questions. Be sure to subscribe so that you can stay up to date concerning future episodes. And if you would like to connect with any of the hosts on Beyond the Questions, their contact info is linked in the description below. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you on the next episode of Beyond the Questions.